Well, hi guys. Welcome and who dat? I'm Joe. Thanks for tuning in to Rosenfield 10, where I cover our beloved Bless You Boys in black and gold, the New Orleans Saints, who are losers this year. Once again, this time we go to Chicago and lose to the Fighting Dennis Allens. Final score 26-14. And yeah, usually my reviews include stats. Here's the stats. That's your complete list of stats. If you want to know the stats from this game, just go to the nearest cemetery. You'll find it. This season's over with. Yeah, I know it's ridiculous to think that they were going to be any good to begin with, but when you're a competitive football team and everything's brand new, you still have to have a little hope. And I had a lot of hope after the first two games being competitive. The third game, a farce against Seattle. We come back and play pretty decent against the Bills the week after that. And then we finally win a game against the Giants. We go to 1-4, and we're thinking, okay, maybe we've turned a corner. Maybe we'll start to see a little progression. And that's the thing with this team. Every time you see an improvement in one area, you see them fall back into some other area where we thought we had it fixed, and we really don't. So, yeah, the team's a mess. The roster's not complete. We're not sure what we have with the coaches. And this is the point in the season when, yeah, I'm done. I mean, I'm done watching these games from beginning to end. You know, there was a point in this game when I walked away. I figured whatever happens, happens. I'll see it when I come back. I just had something else to do. Usually during the Saints season, full attention for 3 hours on the game. If I'm going to walk away from it, I'll at least pause it. I don't want to miss a play. No, I was willing to miss a few plays in this game. The Saints finally come back. We score a touchdown in the second quarter, right before the half ends. Then we get the ball in the second half. We get the ball first, and we drive down the field, score again. We were down 20-0. Then it was 20-7. Then all of a sudden, beginning of second half, it's 20-14. We have ourselves a ball game. Not really. Everybody knows the major stat from this game. Spencer Rattler threw 3 interceptions and he fumbled the ball, which was a loss. So 4 turnovers. In my preview, I thought the Saints would be the one getting 4 turnovers, and I thought we would only turn the ball over once. That was my prediction. Saints get 4 turnovers. Bears get one. Flip it around. Bears got 4. Saints got 1. Nice interception by Riley. So yeah, you're looking for any glimmer of hope, and the glimmers of hope have always been to me. What do you have enough pieces that you're actually going to keep some of them? You have enough pieces where you're working towards the future. Okay, yeah, and then you're competitive at the same time. Okay, coaching's working. Maybe we do have some pieces. Then you play a game like this where it's like, did you even think the Saints had a chance? I did when it was 20-14. But then you turn the ball over. The defense just god awful against the run. We get the ball back. You're down 20-14. You're down 23-14. You finally lose 26-14. You're never really out of it as far as the score goes. I mean, you lose the game by 12 points. I would say, even with 8 minutes to go in the game, you could be down by 12 points and still run the ball. Yeah. So I watched most of the game when the Saints came back, the beginning of uh, the end of the first half, beginning of the second half. I started to pay attention. I snuggled in. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can do it. Once again, epic fail. Nobody wanting to finish. Some weeks it's the defense that finishes and not the offense. Some weeks it's the offense that finishes and not the defense. And I don't even want to hear it. Defense held the Bears to 6 points in the second half. Oh boy, here we go again. Great job for half the game. My biggest complaint, and we've got complaints all over this roster, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you everybody's garbage. We know we got to remove half of these players and replace half these players. We know the deficiencies in the roster. What we're trying to figure out is, okay, who's good, who's not, but we're also doing that with the coaches. And that's my biggest gripe of the game. You play a Dennis Allen coached team and you only run the ball 16 times, 17 times. Oh yeah, well yeah, we were down 20 to nothing right out of the gate, right? Whatever. Whatever. I don't want to hear it. You run the ball 16, 17 times, you suck, okay? You suck. You didn't I saw the game. I watched it. You tried to run on first down, you got 2 yards. You try to run again, you get 2, 3 yards. Every time you try to run the ball, you look like a joke. So yeah, it's definitely not working. You're slamming your head into a brick wall if you keep doing it, I guess. But what I know from being a fan of the Saints and having Dennis Allen as our coach for damn near 10 years, 15 years, whatever the hell it was, I knew how to attack Dennis Allen. You run at him with the quarterback. How many times did Rattler run in the game? Twice. One was a design run, and that was the biggest run for him. Something we should have been doing all game long. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an armchair quarterback. Maybe as a Saints fan, just like you, we don't really know what to do. We don't really know, right? I don't know. You tell me. You attack a Dennis Allen defense by throwing to the tight end and telling your quarterback to run when it's man coverage, especially if there's no one open. Your first read isn't open. The pressure's getting to you. Just run. I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. I thought Rattler was going to run at least 10 times. I thought instead of trying to chuck it deep to Rashid Shaheed during a busted play, you just take off running and get 10 yards because that's what teams did to Dennis Allen's defense when he was our coach for years and years and years and years. So my biggest gripe is Kellen Moore. At this point, I'm like not impressed at all. What the hell are you doing? This is the second team we've played that was so bad against the run on defense that you felt like you could just walk out on the field and get 100 yards. The team was giving up 150 yards rushing. No, but they might have a game plan and it might be working, and your offensive line might not be any good. Maybe the quarterback, uh, maybe the coach, former quarterback, who's supposed to be designing these runs, doesn't have the pieces he needs. Maybe he's asking these guys to do things they can't do. Maybe you should sometimes just punch a guy in the mouth and instead you're dancing with him first. I don't know what the hell, but I'm not impressed. You've had plenty of damn time with Spencer Rattler as your quarterback to figure out what works and what doesn't work. You've had plenty of time with this team. You've got Devon Vele, who you traded a fourth round pick for, not contributing at all. I mean, I know he was on the field a few times. I think he was targeted once. He drew a defensive pass interference call on the one time we threw the ball to him. I know he was open on a couple of plays. Not out there run blocking. I think he screwed up run blocking once when he was out there. I don't get it. Taysom Hill gets 2 carries. Yeah, this team's in shambles right now. And what's frustrating to me most of all is not the deficiencies in the talent level of the players on the roster. It's the deficiency of the head coach, the lack of imagination. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm tired of trying to figure it out with you, Kellen. Sometimes the answer's right in front of you. And it feels like you're not trying to win if you don't do the things that you really should be doing against the Dennis Allen defense. My God, we finally get a chance to do something against his defense that's been done to us over and over and over and over again. Yeah, Jawan Johnson ended up with a bunch of numbers at the end. He got all of it when Dennis Allen went in his protect the lead, prevent defense mode, and then Jawan Johnson started getting a bunch of useless yardage, useless stats. Do that crap when we're actually trying to win the game. I just don't like it. And I'm not even going to try to do a deep dive evaluation to see whether I may be right or may be wrong about Dennis Allen's play calling in this game. Dennis Allen. Kellen Moore's play calling in this game. I'm not going to do a deep dive on it. I don't care. That's not good enough. I could have not watched the game, looked at the numbers, and figured it out the same way from sitting there watching the damn thing. Last year, the Saints won their first two games, and I rode that wave for as long as you could. But once we turned to 2-7, that's when, yeah, it was pointless after that. I mean, I love the Saints. I'm still gonna talk about them. If we end up doing something spectacular sometime during the remainder of this year, I'll be happy to talk about it. But I'm not gonna do a breakdown, a preview and review of every game. Not when this is the damn final product. 17 total rushes, 44 total rushing yards against a team that was allowing 150. Your quarterback runs twice. The most immobile quarterback against Dennis Allen should run at least 6 times. Even a guy that can't run. If your quarterback goes out there with cement blocks on his feet, I would tell him to run against this Dennis Allen defense because they're going to be in man coverage and you're going to have your opportunities. Spencer Rattler is a quick guy. He's mobile. He can get out of pressure. Man, you're trying to you're trying to develop him. You're telling him to take deep shots. He needs to take more deep shots. Well, go ahead and just let it rip, Rattler. You don't. Your job's not on the line. You're 1-12. Your job is secure. Kind of starting to feel like Blake Groupie. I mean, how bad does it have to get? Now, the individual player, and go watch my other video talking about Shuck and Rattler. I'll let you know how I feel about both of them. I'm completely honest. But you have to, whether it's fair or not, you get to a point where, okay, dude, you started 12 games, you're 1-11. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. We've seen enough because you're not trying to win. You're not trying to win. You have a better chance of winning with Rattler out there, but you have a better chance of winning against the Chicago Bears if you tell your quarterback to tuck and run. Tuck and run. God, how many years have we watched that against Dennis Allen, against us? And Tyson Bagent, freaking Tommy DeVito. Doesn't matter. I mean, even this year, you had Mac Jones running around on us and stuff because the personnel was Dennis Allen's, and they're no good at freaking stopping running quarterbacks. This system, our new defensive system under Brandon Staley, I thought we showed so much promise against the run. Against New England, yeah, held their leading rusher to like less than 15 yards rushing. I, I gave Jonathan Bullard props. I gave Jonathan Bullard and Nathan Shepard props. Not anymore. Not with that crap. What the hell, man? 222 yards rushing against us. The game was right there for us to have. I titled this video Coulda, Shoulda, Woulda. Not that we coulda, shoulda, woulda won. Is that we coulda, shoulda, woulda lost by a hell of a lot more if the Bears didn't suck. Because they do suck. Caleb Williams had a worse passer rating than Spencer Rattler, and Rattler turned the ball over 4 times. That's a feat. That would be, if I was going to do an examination of the game, that would be what I would examine. How the hell did Caleb Williams end up with a worse quarterback rating than a guy that turned the ball over 4 times? Yeah, you don't tell Spencer Rattler, okay, yeah, take your deep shots, take your deep shots. Your job is safe. Go ahead and take your deep shots. Point. Tell Rashid where you want to go. Wait another second. So, you got to give the safety time to go to where your directions are and then throw the ball. Y'all worked on that? Y'all worked on scramble drills and that's what you came up with? Shouldn't Rashid be coming back to the ball instead of running deep if the deep safety's still way out there? Shouldn't he be coming back to the ball? Either way, Spencer Rattler should have been coached in this game. If you're running around, take off running. How many yards could Rattler have gotten if he'd have taken off running instead of chucking that ball up to get intercepted? I'm just saying. There's a lot of crap we could be doing that would, in my opinion, feel like you're trying to win the game. Like, at the end of the half when you refuse to use timeouts and you just take a loss into halftime. We've seen that a few times. I just I'm not happy right now. I keep waiting for certain players on this team to show progress, and some of them do, and those are the ones I want to keep. Some of them don't, like Cesar Ruiz. There's a couple of players, Justin Reed. I've seen enough of them to know it's not happening. Maybe Justin Reed's better to have out there for 17 games than Jordan Howden. Maybe, but he ain't getting no plays. Alante Taylor. I'm supposed to pat him on the back because he tackles well the last 2 games. He finally figured out how to tackle. Congratulations. I'm supposed to pat Chris Olave on the back because a he finally had a game worthy of calling him a number one wide receiver. Did he though? 5 catches, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was targeted 7 times. That sounds great. He got most of those yards on 3 catches. And what happened to him in the second half? Where was he at? This number one wide receiver who was good enough to finally catch 2 touchdowns. After 4 years, he's finally got a game with 2 touchdowns. Well, he usually only catches 5 for the year. Well, he had 1. Now he's got 3. Oh, you're almost there. Number one receiver. My ass. My ass. I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm not patting you on the back for that. You finally caught 2 touchdowns. Congratulations. We had a guy named Willie Jackson that caught 3 touchdown passes in a playoff game for the Saints. And that dude wasn't a first round pick. That dude no one even knows who he was when he did it. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Chase Young had a really good game. He really did. He had 2 passes defended. He really did. I heard somebody say he got his first sack. No, he didn't. He got a half a sack. Okay, the season is 7 games old, and dude ain't even got a full sack. So don't say he got his first sack. The singular of sack is too much for Chase Young. Give him that much credit. He has yet to get a singular sack. He's yet to. Maybe in a couple of games when he actually gets a full sack. Do you need to know what a full sack is? Brian Bresee got half of that sack. I'm just saying. Dude ain't even got a singular sack yet. Oh, progress. Here we go. We're gonna make it. I get into these moods, man. I'm not dealing with it no more. That's frustration to me. The talent level on this team is deficient, but it's not so deficient that you lose to the Bears because you refuse to do what you need to do, and you're still in the damn game. You only lost by 12 points. How many damn turnovers does it take to lose a game? 4. That's how many it takes. 4. It all depends. I might do a preview video of the upcoming game, but instead of breaking down the opponent and talking about whatever possibilities of what could happen during the game, really without Eric McCoy the rest of the year, yeah. Most of my videos for the rest of the year will probably be the only thing that's entertaining about the Saints season, which is looking forward to the future. Talking about more exponential topics instead of just the task at hand. Because the head coach to me ain't worried about the task at hand. Just win the next one. How do you beat Dennis Allen? Oh, I don't know. You tell your quarterback to go out there and to take a bunch of chances against the defense, a style of defense he really hadn't faced all year. One thing you know for sure when you play Dennis Allen, that your quarterback can tuck and run. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong to say Kellen Moore sucks right now because he didn't tell Spencer Rattler, first read, if it's not there, tuck and run. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. Hell no, I'm not wrong. You're wrong if you think I'm wrong. No, you're wrong. Let's do this together. We are right. As Saints fans, we are correct to know exactly how to get our ass kicked when Dennis Allen was our coach. We know how that happened over and over and over again. I didn't have to watch the game. Give me the final stat line: 16 carries, 17 carries for us, averaging 2.5 yards a carry. Spencer Rattler could have been averaging 10 yards a carry in this game. If he'd have got 10 carries, this game would have been totally damn different. He wouldn't have been turning the ball over. He wouldn't have been throwing interceptions. He might have been fumbling the ball 3, 4 times, but he wouldn't be throwing any interceptions. Oh, it's not there. Tuck and run. I got a lot of problems with Kellen Moore right now. Your first read should be a damn slant to Devon Vele. That's what your first read should be. And do it till they stop it. Do it until they can stop it. Ooh. No, 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 no. I can hear Northern now. Nope, I'm not calming down, Northern. This is it. This is it. No, I didn't expect them to be winners. I wanted them to be competitive. And I would say 4 or 5 of the first 6 games, we were decently competitive. The Seattle game, notwithstanding, but there's always something. It looks like we figured out the run. Well, we got young pieces in the defensive secondary, so, we're stopping the run, but we're allowing passing. Well, this past game, defensive backfield did really good. Secondary did fine. Caleb Williams had a worse rating than a Spencer Rattler, turned the ball over 4 times. So, yeah, this week, secondary did fine. Couldn't stop the run. There was a game when we ran for what, 100 against the Buffalo, 189 yards we ran the ball for and didn't win. But we've forgotten how to run all of a sudden. Oh, I know Luke Fortner came in at center, played 12 snaps. Couldn't get anything going with Eric McCoy. You're definitely not going to get anything going with Luke Fortner. And you know how bad we were last year without Eric McCoy. Is Luke Fortner better than whatever we were throwing in at center last year? Maybe. Come here, Sammy. Maybe. I doubt it. You sweet patch. My Sambu's a sweet patch kid. Sometimes he's a sour patch kid. This is Sam. He is camera shy, doesn't like to be held. That's my Sambu. His actual full name is Samuel Davis Mills Jr., and I call him the mongoose. Not the field mouse, but the mongoose, because he kind of looked like a mongoose at one point in his life. He is my sweet patch and my sour patch. Samuel Davis Mills Jr. Yeah, I keep the good feelings from my existence as a Saints fan. Yeah, I named my cat after a football player, Sam Mills. Damn right. Proud to be a Sam Mills fan. How many players do we have on this team that when it's all said and done, you're going to stand up and say, man, he was one of the best for the Saints? You got a couple of them. Alvin Kamara. When did he forget how to pass block? I mean, he was never very good at it. But when did Alvin Kamara start looking like he didn't care anymore? The last couple of games. It's what it feels like. And now that Kendre Miller's hurt, I don't know, man. Alvin Kamara, fountain of youth. I don't know. Maybe he needs to go drink with Demario Davis. Start drinking from that fountain of youth. Who else are we proud of on this team? Cam Jordan? Yeah, but if you had to start the whole year with him as your primary edge rusher, I don't think it would be very good. Who else on this team am I proud of? Taysom Hill, one of the greatest Saints to ever live. Is he completely washed up right now? I don't know. Not sure. I guess we'll see. But yeah, man, those are Saints I'm proud of. Those are Saints that I'm always going to love. I like Eric McCoy a whole bunch too. Might be the best center the Saints ever had. Missed 10 games last year, gonna miss 10 games this year. We're getting to that point with Eric McCoy like we did with Ryan Ramczyk. He's a great player, one of the greatest Saints to ever play when he was healthy. For the 7 games he played, great. And I could go on and on complaining about this team. And I will. I will be doing plenty of videos. We're going to be doing mock drafts. We're going to be breaking down the Saints roster every week, whether we break down the upcoming game or not. We're going to talk about the roster. We're going to talk about what I think the Saints need to do. Sometimes we'll do opinion videos talking about how bad they are. I might even feel good one day and decide to do something about what I like about the team. But it's all going to be Saints, and I'm going to focus on college a lot through the lens of a Saints fan for Saints needs. So subscribe to the channel. I'm not going to stop making videos. I'm just going to stop doing stats and getting excited about games. This is a tear it down year. I expect us to trade off some assets before the trade deadline. I expect to see Tyler Shuck get a shot. If we don't see Tyler Shuck play quarterback this year, then I don't think our coaching staff knows what they're doing when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks. Sean Payton was a former quarterback, and he was a head coach for the Saints, had no idea how to draft a quarterback. Sean Payton never drafted a good quarterback. But did he draft Chase Daniels? That was the only quarterback that was half decent. How can Sean Payton, a quarterback guru who's a great designer of offenses, Kellen Moore, how can a guy who was a former quarterback and great designer of offenses be that bad at evaluating quarterbacks? No, no, you lucked out with Drew Brees. The rest of the league missed out on Drew Brees. Okay. I'm not going to pat Mickey Loomis on the back for choosing Drew Brees or Sean Payton on the back for choosing Drew Brees. It seemed like a goddamn obvious thing. You're going to stick with Aaron Brooks? So yeah, okay. Maybe Sean Payton can take whatever garbage you give him at quarterback and make him look decent. Maybe Kellen Moore's that way too. But I don't see the quarterback evaluation. You draft a guy in Tyler Shuck and you don't play him at all this year, it means he's not good enough to play. I don't need you picking a future franchise quarterback. Maybe somebody else should go pick the quarterback and just give him the more and say, hey, here you go, make something happen. You ain't no good at evaluating and drafting a quarterback. Not yet, anyway. Kellen Moore's inherited every quarterback he ever had. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If Tyler Shuck doesn't play this year, that's because he's not good enough to play. He got beat out by a fifth round quarterback who's an afterthought. Doesn't make me hopeful for the future. And when we have a top 5 pick this year, I'm not sure if I'm going to be excited about the quarterback Kellen Moore chooses. He chose Tyler Shuck. Well, I'd like to see Tyler Shuck. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him for 2 months because the rest of the season is just done. But subscribe to Rosenfield 10 because I'm going to be talking about him. Let me know what you think. Am I going a little nuts here? I get frustrated when I see that. You don't run the ball against the Dennis Allen team. What are you doing? Trying to lose? Let me know what you think. And until the next one, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Who dat?